What you can expect energetically in the world over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Well, I can help you with that, my friend. Gublewan, everyone. I'm Aurea Eden. Gublewan is my way to greet. It means good, blessed, and wonderful. This is Daily Energy with daily predictions, your news before the news. Today's energy is about energy, okay? It's about taking action. It is going to be a very busy day. You likely, if you got up early in the morning in the AM and went to work, you likely noticed some kind of traffic. You likely noticed that there was accidents on the road, delays. This is what the day's energy bring. It's almost like expect the unexpected. It's that day when I tell you that people act like people act like animals and animals act like animals. So it's one of those days of caution, especially since yesterday or the day before I had weasels and snakes and vermin in the energy. Okay, so it's like watch out for animals, as it is a day to take care of the people, places, and things that cannot take care of themselves. And this is like your loved ones who are in the nursing home, the babies that can't take care of themselves, this type of thing. Yesterday I picked up on something about a belt buckle, and it led me to believe that there was going to be some incidents of abuse. Okay, of abuse. And I also talked about a drug overdose as well a couple of days ago. So that energy should be leaving out until it's introduced again here in a few days or so, because energy, it comes in subtly and sometimes it comes in fast, but and it leaves out. It takes a while for it to leave out. Energy lingers. Okay, that's why sometimes we come across somebody that is mean and surly, and we meditate on that for a long time, especially if you're empathic. It's like, they sleeping good at night, and here you are thinking about, like, now I wonder why they said that, and I wonder why they did that, and if only I would have did this, and if only I would have did that. Honey, let that go, because you will run yourself down literally trying to figure that situation out. And today is the day where I would say let that go. Today is not the day for confrontation, because this confrontation that happens today can lead to violent acts. Okay, as I'm seeing mass transition into the spirit, mass shootings, mass incidents to where people basically lose it, and they do things manic and impulsively without thinking about the consequences for their actions. And so this day is likely to be one of those to where the devil's minions will be out and about seeking whom they may devour. Okay, so this is why I tell you, around days like this, make sure you're at home at a decent hour, and don't stay out too late. This is not the day to be going out and drinking and driving and even drinking in general. This is one of those days to where I always encourage people to be as sober as you possibly can, so that you are alert to your surroundings, because there are many threats out here. There's threats for theft, there's threats for assaults, there's threats. All kinds of things happen. Bar fights. We'll see things coming up about bar fights over the next 1 to 3 days or so. And so this is what I'm picking up in the energy here. So overall, I'm seeing like foolish acts. Like I said, impulsive, not thinking about it, not thinking about the consequences, hurt people, try to hurt people, that type of thing. They don't really have direction in life. And so I also see conflicts and confrontation. All right. This is one of those situations to where you want to walk away. You might also find that you might have had a difficult time sleeping last night, or may have a difficult time sleeping tonight. If that's the case, that's communicating to you that you didn't use up enough of your energy. And there's so much, there should be a surplus of energy today to where that you should be able to get a lot of the things that you want to get done. And so those who don't use up that energy, whether it's working out, as it is a good day to work out, they will find themselves like basically staying up all night, okay? Pretty much trying to go to sleep. It's like you're sleep. It's almost like you're walking on autopilot sometimes. It's like you're sleepy, but you can't go to sleep. Okay, I'm talking from experience, okay? Because I couldn't get no sleep last night. I ain't use up all that energy at all, okay? So I'm also seeing people basically poking fun, making fun of like those who they deem cowardly and weak. So I feel like there's going to be like bully energy coming out here. So people picking fights, okay? People basically making fun about people and, calling people stupid and dumb and all these things. And some people out here now, they're really, really mean, and they think it's funny. They think it's funny to make fun of people's misfortunes. But they don't understand that it's those misfortunes that makes them fortunate. Why y'all out here talking about Shamar? Okay? I want y'all to know that while y'all talking about Shamar and y'all putting his face on your face, all you're doing is advertising him. Okay? That's all you're doing. So you could talk about him being stupid and dumb and all those things, but you're talking about the wrong thing. Some of you, you're just jealous. You wonder why him and not you. Well, it's why him and not you is because God has his hands on Shamar, whether you know it or not. If you really listen to Shamar, you'll notice that Shamar is trying to influence the world to a better place. He might not have everything he need to do what he need to do right now, but sleep on him if you will. Okay? I'm telling you, like, it's the ones that you make fun of. It's the ones that you think you could just talk about and say anything about, right? But I want you to know that don't forget about what it looks like, but touch not my anointed ones, okay? And do my prophets no harm. Sleep on them if you want to. You'll mess around and find out, okay? And this is what I love about this time that we're living in now, is that it's like a melting pot of a sort. And it's like all of these different generations are coming together in one lifetime. And you have no choice but to learn from everybody. Everybody. If you don't learn from everybody, you will be living stuck in the traditional past that sometimes ends up holding back instead of propelling forward. We have to come to some kind of resolve so that we can get to the next level. And judgment is not the way to do it. We must find the solution. That's what I'm thinking about that, Frozen. I think about Frozen and, how the sister ran away and all of this stuff. And she was getting that call here, I'm going to say from her ancestors. And then all of a sudden she's in between two sides here, and the two sides are trying to go at each other, and she has to be the bridge in the middle. I tell you, I feel like who was that? Was that Elsa? I don't remember who it is, but I feel like that sometimes. You see, being able to see both sides of things, or you have no choice because you're on both sides of things. You're not this nor are you that because you're a bridge. Okay, so that's what we are supposed to be doing now, is being a bridge to China, being a bridge to Iran, being a bridge to Japan, being a bridge to Sweden, being a bridge to Russia, being a bridge to Germany. And if you're not trying to be a bridge, then you are actually trying to be a gap. You are not trying to mend the gap. And we should be getting ready to mend this gap. Because except all of the jewels to the crown come back together again, there will continue to be chaos and division because the God that I serve is a God of order. Okay? And this crown that I'm talking about, I'll tell y'all about that another day. Okay. Anywho, so that's what I'm seeing here. It's like there's going to be a process to progress. There is a process to progress. That's how you're going to get there. I'm seeing something coming up about telling somebody something, telling. So this is also, like I told you, there's like character assassinations, but this is somebody telling your business. Be careful who you tell your business to, because some people, they're out to get the bone so they can carry it. Okay. And it's interesting that I talked about the bridge and mending, because there's also some repair energy in the energy today and over the next 1 to 3 days as well here. So some people might be picking, making fun. Also, something may come up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days about blurt. Okay, blurt. This is about blurting things out, but it could also be a name, blurt. And also Kirby. Ooh, have y'all ever heard Kirby sing? Oh, I love me some Kirby, baby. If you sleeping on Kirby, look, okay, I ain't even gonna do it to her. But baby, Kirby, that girl can just sing, okay? She gives me that, it's like a chill type of energy when I listen to her. I'm like, but she's up there, so I ain't even gonna try it today. I might try it later on, okay? Okay. So Curb, I'm getting this. So when I'm talking about curb, I'm talking about like this is a day to get out and do outdoor activity. You're going to see a lot of people mowing the lawn, hey, you're going to see family gatherings. It's a good day to spend time with family. I actually suggest you spend time with family today versus spending time outside the house, going to clubs and bars, okay? Because I'm picking up clubs and bars in the energy. So I actually recommend a nice movie night with your family, or a barbecue or something with your family. Keep it close to home type of energy here. Even, like your relationship or something like that. But that would be good to do. Good day to garden. Good day to do some yard work. We talked about you doing things internally. Now it's time to do externally. It's time to actually do something and take action. That's what this energy is calling for us to do. Take action. But it's not a good day to really focus on nitpicking at your goals and your plans, because the reason being is the day can have some unexpected twists and turns. It can be a bit unpredictable to an extent, and with that being said, it's like, in order to give yourself some grace, you want to kind of like not nitpick, and so if things don't go as planned today, you're able to manage and carry on. I had a client tell me here not too long ago, and she called me and she was talking about how she wanted to bring more positivity in her life. She said that it's just been negative. And I was like, girl, I can relate. Because if you know like I know, I know where you're coming from. And that's the story of the chosen. It's long suffering. It seems like you don't have an out, because it seems like it just keeps happening. It's like, what did I do? You didn't do nothing wrong. Sometimes it's what you did right. Okay? That long suffering is an opportunity for you to learn. When you get to the end of that thing, you're going to have a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of understanding. And for some of us, that happened in our youth. Okay. That's what happens. Somebody told me the other day, you're an old soul. I said, you don't even know the half of it. I very much am an old soul, okay? But that still doesn't keep me from going through my long suffering, because although I'm an old soul, I'm an old soul without all the wisdom, knowledge, and the understanding from them old soul lives, okay? But anywho, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So in order for you to attract more positivity, you're going to have to start being positive. I mean, this whole reading was just negative, 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 negative. I say something positive, she'll say something negative. I say something positive, she say something negative. You know, and I'm like, no, no, no. You gotta tell her you need a poison and it's stronger than that. And she'll say, but the poison, they just keep giving me poison. You know, you gotta start speaking positive. You gotta manifest. You gotta affirm. Affirmations work. Aligning your chakras work. When you feel like you're getting so negative, it's because you're unbalanced. You're ungrounded. You need to fill your cup. You need to take the time that you need to take the time for yourself. And especially when you're a light worker, you're a chosen, you're an empath, you're an intuitive, you're a preacher, you're a teacher, you're a prophet, whatever you be, you're a seer, whatever it is in that realm, that you are a vessel and a channel for God, you have to deal with other people's energy, managing other people's energy, as well as managing energy that comes towards you, like these downloads and spiritual energy. So it's, of course, you get overwhelmed, and that's why you got to take yourself down sometime and spend time to yourself. Do what it is that you love. Find your purpose, find your authenticity, embrace that difference that makes you different. These are some things that Spirit would encourage you to do, okay? So I'm also seeing that I told you it's going to be animals acting like animals, so we're going to see like an increase in animal attack. I didn't tell you yesterday, but yesterday I also saw like something about a stampede. Okay, a stampede at a safari. Okay, so something about a journey, a walk, a hike. So when you're walking and you're hiking and you're going on these journeys and stuff like that, whatever, you're going to see like animals are acting like animals. So today, animal stampedes. We'll see like at incidents and accidents and stuff like that. People going into enclosures they know dang well they ain't supposed to be in. Okay, you go poking the bear. What you think the bear gonna do? Okay, and this is literally and figuratively. Okay, you go poking the bear. What you think the bear gonna do? While you up here messing with people, talking to, trying to be a bully. What I know from being bullied is sometimes the one that's bullied, they sometimes can become the bully when they say, okay, I'm not taking this no more. And then when you get that smoke after you lit the match, then now you want to play the victim. But you asked for it. You asked for it, okay? So I'm saying all this to say, don't go out here poking no bear. Okay? All right? And speaking of smoke, I'm also picking up on like fire energy, okay? So I'm seeing fires coming up over the next 1 or 3 days or so. You might have already seen some coming in, because I feel like that might have been in yesterday's energy here. I'm seeing, okay? But take action is what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing something about somebody being sentenced. We're going to see court cases of here something about someone being sentenced in a court case. I told you the other day I was picking up on somebody named Wes. There was a guy, I don't remember his name, but Wes was the victim. And so, that's what we saw. The person who, murdered Wes, actually, he was convicted not too long ago here over the last few days or so that showed up in the news. I'm also picking up on something about a convention. I'm seeing some kind of convention coming in as well that we'll hear on the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Salmon, fish. I've been seeing a lot about fish and trout and salmon. A lot of activity. Maybe there's like a fishing competition or something going on. I'm not sure, but I'm picking up on that. But yes, a long, arduous journey, and so it seems like it's going to be. Today is travel energy, so I do see that there's going to be a lot of people traveling here. We're also going to see something about travel coming in. This could be more talk about the real ID and stuff like that, because we did have like energy coming in about like identity a couple of days ago as well. I'm also seeing something about possession. This could have something to do like with people stealing people's possessions here, whether it's while they're traveling or not. I'm seeing theft energy coming in here. So we'll see stuff coming in about that over the next 1 to 3 days or so. And people actually being sold into, I'm going to say, slavery, so to speak. And I'm talking like we're talking about human trafficking is what I'm picking up on. More talk about human trafficking coming up as I'm seeing that in the energy here. Chattel is what they're showing me here. And I told you, I don't know if they ever solved that case or not, but I definitely see something going on about human trafficking and stuff in the backwoods. Very, very prominent situation going on in Mexico that I saw in my dream at a time here. And it's a big thing. Okay. I'm also seeing something coming up about the Odyssey. This could be a movie, okay? But I'm seeing that coming up. So you want to make sure you lock things up today. But look, don't be going over here trying to fight over stuff. Okay? You could get stuff back, but you can't get your life back in the sense of once it's dead and gone, so to speak. You might reincarnate, but yeah, no, let that stuff go. Okay? It ain't even worth it. Okay? I'm telling you, it's not worth it. All right, so something coming in about like having to move. You might see a lot of movers, a lot of U-Hauls on the road and stuff like that. Yes, yesterday I told you I saw a lot about semi accidents and stuff like that coming in the energy over the next 1 to 3 days. We might hear something coming in about U-Haul over the next 1 to 3 days or so. But I am picking up on a lot of movement, a lot of people having to move here. I'm seeing something about rent. So we're going to see something coming up about housing in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. I'm also getting something about not just hiking and long journeys. I'm also picking up on matching, like boxing. And I feel like we're going to hear something about boxing over the next 1 to 3 days here. I didn't see the knockout this time, but I am seeing like somebody getting hit really hard. Okay. And it's a talk about that. It could be like a walk for cancer or something like that coming in. But pedestrians, be cautious if you're walking about, because, I do see a lot of like accidents here. Traffic jams and stuff like that, road rage, car chases, all of these things could happen over the next 1 to 3 days here. All right. Herbal medicine, I feel like it's going to be a subject. This could be hemp, as far as like, more talk about them going back and reviewing that law, that rule, that regulation that they put in place in Texas. So I'm seeing something coming up about that here in the news over the next 1 to 3 days here. Okay. I'm seeing something being like really steep and slopey. Um, and and this like steepness, like in a hike, we're talking about falls. So I see people falling from things, whether like they're on a hike, they're falling, they might fall into a ditch or a hole or something like that. I'm seeing that also on ramps. As you're going into traffic, I'm seeing accidents happening on the on ramp here, coming in. All right, border talk, more border talk, coming in as well. Um, Over the next 1 to 3 days, I don't see that going away anytime soon. But also, I'm seeing this could be a competition of some sort, but it could also not be a competition. It could just be an accident or something. But I'm seeing snowboards, skiers, and skateboarders, like energy coming in. We'll hear about that over the next 1 to 3 days or so. So these are people that would really want to take extra precautions and be cautious when I see this in the energy, because that means it's highlighted, and we'll see multiple incidents of these things happening. Okay, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing. Okay. So I told you I'm picking up on something about a belt, and I'm picking up on something about, people carrying weapons and stuff like that. So we have increased gun violence here as well. Okay. Somebody even might even try to hold somebody up. Okay, like a hold up, a stick up, a robbery. Okay, this, and yesterday we had bank, so today could actually be a bank robbery, or over the next 1 to 3 days or so, there's a threat for bank robbery. Okay, people not strapping things down, causing accidents that way. I'm seeing there's something coming in about a band. We're going to hear more news about bands, music, that type of thing coming in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Machinery, okay? Machinery. Be cautious when you're working with machinery as well, because this is also giving me machine accidents as well. Here. Something about a loop. Okay, something about a loop of some sort. Okay. Okay. And so, and I'm also seeing like, I feel like I'm seeing like buildings being surrounded. Okay, buildings being surrounded over the next 1 to 3 days. And yesterday we had police energy. So, I definitely see like a major mass situation coming up here. Talks about zoning, regions, sectors, that type of thing coming in. So we see a change in some zoning laws in some areas, having to do with neighborhoods and territories. I feel like they might end up standing up to authorities, because they feel like, their rights are being violated in some kind of way. There's also the potential for, more people who are struggling with addiction coming into the energy. More so specifically, this is drug addiction. So people doing like impulsive things because they are actually under the influence. Okay. So here, but make sure you are fastening your seatbelt. Make sure if you're going to Six Flags and Waterworld and stuff like that, make sure that they tie you in. Because with the fall energy and with this energy coming in right now that's talking about fastening, it's making me think that people are going to be dropping from high places, or people are going to be thrown from cars and stuff, is what I'm seeing here. So definitely wrecks and stuff happening because people are going to be speeding today. Okay, I'm also seeing something about a race of some sort coming in here. Okay, career is going to be highlighted over the next 1 or 3 days or so. Here is what I'm seeing. I am also picking up on something about the company Zoom. Okay, we'll hear something about Zoom, or that Zoom could be a stock, but I'm not a medical doctor, advisor of any sort. I'm not a legal professional of any sort, nor am I a financial advisor. Okay, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. All right, I gotta say that, but if you know like I know, then you know. Okay, all right. So something coming in about leather. Watch out for rattlesnakes. Once again, I'm seeing something about a whirl and a whoosh. Okay, this could be like, like how, people go into carnivals and stuff like that. It could be one of those things that go around in a circle, and maybe somebody is not strapped into that. And so that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, so, that was today's energy when I was talking about like the stampede at a safari or something like that. Here. Okay, so I'm seeing things flying and whirling in the sky. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about here. Something coming up about scramble, something, people having to scramble, okay, for something. Okay, all right. So okay, something coming up about elk. This is something like I told you, like we're getting close to like deer season, so you may start hearing more about that. Also rank. All right, we talked about people who thought you were like inferior to them, and you're lowly, you're weak, you're stupid, you're dumb. I feel like they start trying to pick on people who are lowest in rank, but then also low in rank, somebody might be demoted here as well. I'm seeing panic and dismay. I told you mass shooting energy is here. So when you're going out and about in these groups, that's why I say make sure you're being cautious. I am seeing a lot. Make sure you're paying attention to your signs. Make sure when you walk in the building, you know where the exit is. Okay. I'm seeing something coming up about Albania here. Okay. I'm seeing something coming about inexpensive treats. We'll see in the news over the next 1 or 3 days or so. I'm seeing something about animals and stingrays, and people really getting stuck, or something happening or highlighted about animals and breeding. Okay. More specifically, I'm picking up on stingrays. Okay. And so this is more incidents of stings and stuff like that. Breeding season. This could be shark attacks. Just make sure that you're checking what's in the area, what the threat is, and stuff like that. But I'm definitely getting some animal aggression and communal breeding display. Okay, communal breeding display. I'm also, Albania, Bulgaria. I'm also picking up something about Bulgaria happening over the next 1 or 3 days or so that we should hear about in the news. Okay, some kind of revolution is getting ready to happen. I'm picking up. Okay. And I see that things start to accelerate. Okay. Acceleration is one of the things that the energy talks about. So if you notice, one of the themes in today's energy is speed. Okay, speed. Okay, here. So I'm also picking up something about a reverend, a pastor of something, some sort. Here, we're going to hear news about some pastor or reverend of some sort. Here, yesterday, I think it was clergy that I got. So I'm definitely picking up on something going on with a preacher, a teacher of some sort. I'm also seeing we'll hear something about and veterinarians and veterans. Okay, I'm getting vet. Okay, vet. People being vetted. Okay, but more so specifically, I feel like there's going to be something coming in that's going to affect veterans and veterinarians. We're going to hear something about veterinarians today because we are dealing with animals energy today. So I'm also seeing something coming in about the cartel. Okay, I'm picking up about the cartel. I'm also picking up on they some kind of screen. I feel like they start screening for something here, not the cartel, but I feel like on a government level people are going to be examined and screened even more. Maybe there's a more extensive screening before you get to onboard planes and stuff like that. So things coming in about access here. Okay, I'm seeing things being considered, looked over, reviewed with scrutiny. I'm seeing new proposals being vetted for large takeover here. I'm seeing bidding on things as well as betting on things. Now, betting on things, this is gambling energy coming in over the next 1 to 3 days. So we'll hear something about the lottery and stuff like that in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Also, I'm seeing like comparisons here, electrical things happening as well. Something coming in about the electricity or something having to do with power over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Communication breakdowns over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Talks about risk here having to do with I feel like monetary investments or something along those lines. Okay. And then I'm also seeing something coming up with about networks such as the BET network and the OWN network. Okay. BET network, OWN network, Oprah Winfrey. I'm seeing like something coming up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so about that here. Hazardous energy today, something about health hazards and stuff like that coming up. And so there's going to be expressions of concern about that. Okay. I'm also seeing something coming up about the Jewish community as well over the next 1 to 3 days or so. More specifically, I'm seeing something I told you earlier about a rabbi. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up on. Also, I'm getting something coming in about Confederate soldiers. This could be like racism talk, but this energy is here over the next 1 or 3 days or so. You might start seeing a lot of flags at the graveyard like I do. Because I literally live right next to a graveyard. And instead of flowers, they put the Confederate flags. Okay. But that's what I'm seeing here. I told you yesterday that, somebody is owed and due some money. And so now I feel like the ball is going to be in your court, to where now they're going to have permission, and they're going to have permits to use your stuff. And I feel like energetically, we're going to hear more about permissions and permits coming up in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. Permissions, permits, grants, different sanctions, something coming up about the Real ID, because I'm getting something about license, warrants for arrest being put out in, I feel like, message, or this could be like a warrant officer, something coming in. But I'm seeing some kind of permission or some kind of grant of some sort here. Okay. When it comes down to property, okay, and I'm seeing something regarding payments. This could be payments to veterans, as I am picking up on, veteran energy here. As well. This could be housing for veterans, or of something along those lines. I know what that is. The homeless veterans, because I did see a video that was talking about how they feel like if they solve the homeless problem, then they might decrease the addiction problem, so to speak. Okay, so I'm seeing something coming up about racket sports here. We're going to hear something coming about racket sports in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so. To me, this kind of seems like tennis of some sort. Okay, yeah, specifically tennis. Here over the next 1 to 3 days or so, we're going to start hearing something about that. I'm seeing something about like a net. Here we'll see something coming in, something about maybe like a large net in the water or something, here over the next 1 to 3 days. So something coming in about telephone. So maybe this has something to do with the internet and the telephone combined, or something like that. Maybe it's more of a innovative thing than I thought it was. Okay, but I'm picking up on something about like the phone here. This could be like like some people's phones stop working or something temporarily, or something like that. So that's what I'm seeing occurring and taking place here. Very people focus on material things here. Okay. I see like people being annoyed by the passive voice. Highlighted is also in this energy is engineering. I'm seeing something coming up about bills. Talks about bills being in place and stuff like that. The exchange. I'm picking up something about the exchange. I'm seeing something specific about the Chicago Railway. The Chicago Railway is something that they're highlighting in the news over the next 1 to 3 days. So, and not too long ago, I don't know if I ever talked about it. I saw it, but I don't know if I talked about it. But I saw something about an incident that happened at Greyhound. Greyhound was in the energy. I think that was a few days back or so. But I kind of like skipped over that. I see a lot of emergency room visits. Now listen, a name that I'm getting here is Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth. But Lizzie, Elizabeth. Okay. But I'm also picking up on like royal energy, and I feel like there's going to be someone in the royal family over the next 1 to 3 days or so that's going to be rushed to the hospital of some sort, or going to be checked into the hospital here, is what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm seeing like hesitation of some sort here. So it could be the rush because, due to like like heart failure or something like that. I'm not sure, but I just see like there's going to be a member of the royal family that ends up getting, having some medical complications here from what I'm seeing in the energy. I'm also picking up on something about North America. I'm picking up on something having to do with Egypt. I'm picking up on something having to do with extraterrestrials. I'm picking up on something having to do with, like I told you, fire energy, chemical fires, explosions, that type of thing here. So the Chicago railway could even be under bomb threat here as well. I'm seeing a lot of like paperwork and documents, official paperwork and documents here. And I feel like this is going to be introduced. I feel like this is going to be a new bill introduced. And, the other day I was talking about pretty, or talking about beautiful things and stuff like that. And not even realizing that it could have just been the big, beautiful bill. Okay. All right. So I'm also seeing steam and the sun. So it's going to get hot. Make sure you're consuming a lot of water here over the next 1 or 3 days or so as well. I'm seeing something about a beam and a shaft. Like it's like something, like it's almost like freak accidents in a sense here. Picking up on something about a pencil, somebody attacking somebody with the pencil or something like that. Here, I'm seeing like something about flashes of lights and flickering here. We might see like the lights flashing because we talked about kind of like power outage energy here. Okay, I'm seeing something coming in about, I want to say a marine or something like that. It could be just a fish, but I'm seeing marine. And we're talking about a veteran marine, a marine veteran. But I'm seeing like a lot of military energy coming in. I'm also picking up on bodies being found. I'm picking up on skeletons here. This could be like a fish that ate somebody and the remains get found. I'm just telling you what I see. Remember, I'm seeing stuff about venomous things. More specifically, that's what they're showing me here. All right, that's what I have today. Here. Okay. Oh, I see also phone taps. That's what I was getting about the telephone. Phone taps. I told you about spies. So we'll hear about things coming in the news over the next 1 to 3 days or so about phones, taps, traces, and stuff like that here. All right. Well, I love you. Gubla one. Hearts go out. You get a heart. You get a heart. You get a heart. Hearts go out. Hearts go out. Talk to you next time. Bye.